Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. பிராரப்த கர்மமெல்லாம் விதி வழியே கழியும், ஆகாமிய கர்மம் மதி வழியே பெருகும். Prarabdha karma will be exhausted by fate. Agamiya karma will be grown by the mind. Dear friends, today we will see the working of karma. We have all heard of karma theory quite a bit, but there are a lot of doubts lingering in the mind about the karma. So today we will see the working of karma, karma demystified based on Bhagavan's teaching. Namo Ramanaya. Let's start with the background. All of us are familiar with the existence of three karmas called the Sanchita, the Prarabdha and the Agamiya karmas. The Sanchita can be considered as the total storehouse of all the karmas that an individual has accumulated over innumerable past lives. Each individual, when born, is allotted a portion, a sackful, so to speak, of karma to be completed in the present life. This is done by the ordainer or the God. That is the allocation. One will live in the body in the present birth till this sackful of karmas are exhausted. One cannot live even a minute more after this karma has been exhausted, or die even a minute before the exhaustion of the karma. This is called the Prarabdha karma. In the present lifetime, each individual add many new karmas. These are called the Agamiya karma, and the result of these karmas have to be exhausted in the future lives. These new karmas are added to the Sanchita karma, also known as the master storehouse of the individual's karma. One can obtain release from the repeated cycle of birth and death, that is called samsara, only when the Sanchita karma storehouse is empty. Till then, the birth cycle is inevitable. Now let us see the working of karma. How does a karma work? As mentioned above, each one is allotted his or her prarabdha karma as soon as one is born, to be exhausted in the present life. No one has any clue about the content of the karmas excepting the ordainer or the God. These are all the results of the deeds performed by the individual in one of the many past lives. Based on the kind of the deed, the results are awarded. If the deeds were good, the results are good, and if the deeds were bad, the results are bad. This means if a status of an individual in this life, whether he lives in a lap of luxury or in abject poverty, or with good or ill health, etc., is purely based on one's past deeds, and the ordainer or God is totally neutral and never interferes. He only allots the karma from one's own Sanchita storehouse. This means that nothing is an accident and everything is panning out in a very methodic way. There is a great amount of doubt arising in the mind of many people at this juncture. They ask, if everything that we do in the life is predetermined and the working of prarabdha karma, what about free will? Is there nothing called free will then? Some people also cite Bhagavan's mention in numerous occasions that everything is already decided by prarabdha and an individual has no choice. People also cite Bhagavan's first instruction given to his mother, which reads, "What will never happen will not happen, whatever effort one makes to make it happen. What will happen will not stop, whatever obstructions or resistance one does to prevent it from happening. This indeed is certain. Therefore, to be silent is good." So this is the first instruction given by Bhagavan to his mother while Bhagavan was residing in Pavadakundru. So they wonder, as Bhagavan says everything is predetermined, how will the karma theory work? What is the meaning of agamya karma? When all the stock in the Sanchita storehouse is exhausted over many lives in form of prarabdha, the cycle of samsara should end. But it does not seem to end, and Shastras also say that they will not end. Now, Bhagavan did mention that all the tasks that one performs in this life is the working of prarabdha from the Sanchita storehouse, and that is what decides the kind of life one leads now. But if one keenly notices the instruction given by Bhagavan to his mother, it can be seen that he did not stop by saying, "What will never happen will not happen," but also added, "whatever effort one makes." And the same with the next line, "What will happen will not stop," and again added, "how much ever one tries to stop it." From this, it is evident that Bhagavan has indeed given us enough scope or room to try to do things as dictated by our own mind, using our own volition or sankalpa. But the result of this will be decided only by prarabdha. That is, whether or not the action will be successful or a failure will be decided by prarabdha only. These are actions done according to the scheming of mind, and they are the agamya karmas. No action done can go without giving its fruits. These actions, that is the agamya karmas too, have to give their fruits, and so they get accumulated in the Sanchita storehouse. This is why Bhagavan and other jnanis like him always advise us not to use our mind, that is, let the mind go outward to worldly objects, but to turn it inwards and make it focus on the thought called I. Bhagavan has made it clear that this staying on the I thought is not an action, it is just being, and hence not an action, and hence is not considered an agamya karma. But every single thing else we do is done with the help of the mind, and hence they are agamya karmas and will have to bear its fruits and populate the Sanchita storehouse. Bhagavan always used to advise his devotees not to form any sankalpas, and the reason for that is obvious now. It is, however, difficult to understand whether any action done now is due to prarabdha, which is getting exhausted, or if we are generating agamya karma. This is why jnanis like Bhagavan advises us not to make use of the mind and let prarabdha just flow. One needs to develop good amount of titiksha, also known as forbearance, that is, staying quiet whatever happens, not taking any steps to accelerate or avoid the happening. This way, we avoid making use of the mind and avoid agamiya karma, which inflates the already overflowing sanchita karma storehouse. Now, what is the conclusion? It is easy to understand that no one will be able to empty the sanchita storehouse as we keep adding more content to the storehouse by performing more and more agamiya karma in each life, done with the help of mind, which is almost impossible not to do. It is the nature of mind to sprint forward and impel us to do more action. So what is the way out? It is now important to understand that all the karmas pertain to ego or jiva or mind and never to the pristine pure I, the Satchitananda. So the obvious recommendation is that one should give up the doership, that is the Kartrutva Bhava. How can this be done? By turning inwards and finding the place from where the thought called I rises, with the help of the Brahmastra, who am I, and killing the Karta. When this is achieved, all the three karmas, including the inexhaustible Sanchita karma storehouse, is burnt to ashes at once, as there is no Karta or doer for the karmas to attach to. Let's now look at the final verdict of Bhagavan on this subject. The dispute as to which prevails, fate or free will, is only for those who do not have correct knowledge of the root of fate and free will, which are different from each other. That is, this dispute arises only for those who do not know that the ego, who is the experiencer of fate and the wielder of free will, is truly non-existent. Those who have known the non-existence of the individual self, the ego, who is the one and only base of fate and free will, have discarded them. That is, they have discarded fate and free will along with the root and the base, the ego. Say, will they again be entangled in them, in fate and free will, or in the dispute about them? This is the final verdict of Bhagavan on the dispute between fate and free will. Let us all pray to our beloved Bhagavan to give us the strength to turn inwards and eliminate the ego, the Karta, and thus claim our victory over karma. Namo Ramanaya Arunachala.